guys, how's it going? If you watched my last video, you'll know that I was in a tag mood recently, and I still am. So today I'm going to be doing the Do I Have That Book tag / challenge. This was created by Tabby at Keeping Tabs. As always, I will link the original video down below as well as the questions. Now, I have not looked at these because the point of the game is to go through all the challenges and try to find if you have a book that fits with that, and you have to do it as fast as you can. So I have seen this tag before, but it has been months since I watched them. Luckily, I'm a very forgetful person, so I don't remember what any of them were, so I will be able to do this at least mostly fairly. I'm going to be timing myself on my phone, and that's also where I have the questions. So I'm going to do the challenge, time myself, and then I will be back to let you know how I did. On my mark, get set, go! Okay, I'm back. That didn't go super well. My time was 9 minutes and 59 seconds, and I'm gonna get into that in a sec, but I tried to film it, and apparently I didn't hit record, and I even took lots of time to have like the camera set up so we could like see most of all of my bookcases, and then I just didn't hit record. So that's why the camera angle changed. I'm not even in the middle anymore. Ayoy. I feel like I could have done a little bit better with this, but I lost my phone twice. My phone was my timer and what I had my questions on, so I'd read the question, set it down, grab the book, and sometimes I would set it like on top of another book, and yeah, and I lost my phone for like almost 2 minutes at one point, I think. And I tried to get one of my Roald Dahl books out, and it got super stuck in it because it's in the box set, and I had it upside down and I was shaking it and it was not coming, and then I knocked over the other books on that shelf, so it was a mess. I didn't film it, but that's maybe not a horrible thing. Hello, Spock. How come you're all dusty? What were you rolling around in? You're a dusty girl. What did you get into, Oh, you're so staticky. I'm electrocuting the heck out of you. I'm so sorry. So the original time to beat was 8 minutes. So I failed, but I had fun. So let me show you what books I got for everything. Alright, so the first challenge was a book with deckled edges. I don't own any books with deckled edges. I really don't like them. I don't like the feel of them. So I decided instead to go with this book. It is the Hans Christian Andersen's Complete Fairy Tales, and it has like gold foil edges, so I picked this one instead. It's the next closest thing. The second challenge is a book with 3 or more people on the cover, going with the Grey King. It is the 4th book in the Darkest Rising series by Suzanne Cooper, and I just realized that this would fit with another category that I had a really hard time with. I'll get to that. Question number 3, a book based on another fictional story. I have The Lion King, A Tale of Two Brothers. It's just a short children's book. I wasn't sure if this one counted, but it's based off The Lion King. But then I remembered that The Lion King is loosely based off Hamlet anyways, so it's like 2 half points, so I decided that makes a full point, it counts. The 4th challenge was a book with a title exactly 10 letters long. And this one was so hard. I have so many books that are 9 letters long, I realized, and I have a couple books that are 10 letters long, but then they start with the word the, so they're really 13 letters long. So it took a while, but I have The Lost Boy by Dave Pelzer, I think. This is the sequel to A Child Called It. It is a very messed up story. All kinds of trigger warnings in it. It's a lot, it's really heavy, and there's also a lot of controversy with the author and all of this stuff, but it's 10 letters long. The 5th challenge is the title that starts and ends with the same letters. I have Towers of Midnight. This is the 13th book in the Wheel of Time series, and we win. Next is a Mass Market Paperback book, which I have a million, so I just grabbed the first one closest to me at the time, which was The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I actually haven't read this one yet. I got it for Christmas at the same time as the Mistborn trilogy, and I just read that one first, so I'll probably read this very soon, but I might take a short break because I don't want to read 2 like thick fantasy series back to back, but this book. Next is a book written by an author using a pen name, The Bad Beginning, the first book in the series of unfortunate events, and written by Lemony Snicket, which is a pen name, a great pen name, maybe my favorite pen name. It just suits the books so perfectly, and it's a cool sounding name, and it's easy to remember, and I'm a big Lemony Snicket fan. Next is a book with the character's name in the title, and I went with Matilda by Roald Dahl. This is the one that got super stuck in the box set, and I knocked a million things down getting it out. But I got it, and that's all that matters. Next is a book with 2 maps in it, and that is The Fellowship of the Ring. It has 2 maps. One here, and one here. Next is a book that was turned into a TV show, and I'm sure everyone picked this book, but A Game of Thrones, the first in the Song of Ice and Fire series. It even says on the cover here that it's gonna be a show, so that's cool. Next is a book written by someone who was originally famous for something else, whether it's a celebrity, athlete, politician, TV personality, etc. Now, I do own a couple autobiographies, but I found that was kind of cheating, so I picked The Pleasure of My Company by Steve Martin. Steve Martin is, of course, originally an actor, and he wrote this book about this book. It works. Comment. I'm kind of busy right now. Next is a book with a clock on the cover, and I have Grim Tuesday, the second book in the Keys to the Kingdom series by Garth Nix. There is a clock behind his head. There's also a small clock on the first one, but it was a little bit too small, so this one showed up better on camera. And there's a little like pocket watch here, so like 10 points right here. The next one is a poetry book. I have Living by Jenny Holzer? And the book goes this way. That's kind of cool. But they're all just little, like, couple line poems. Honestly, I hate reading this book. It's kind of cool that it flips up, but it's really hard to read. And the pages, it feels like they're like, you can't really see that on camera. It feels like they're on like parchment paper, and they're completely see-through. So it's really hard to read because you can see the page behind it. Does that show up well on camera? Yeah, like you can see the page behind it. Also, it doesn't open up very far. This book's a pain in the butt, and it works for this challenge. Next is a book with an award stamp on the cover, and I have my copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. It has the cover right there. The like second book I grabbed has a big shiny award sticker on it that I just didn't notice. As I picked up my books, I put them in a second pile, so I didn't reuse any books. But it was so hard to find a book for this challenge because most of the books I bought recently that have won awards, they had stickers on them that I peeled off because I don't like the stickers on the books. Or it just said in text, winner of blah blah blah, didn't have the actual like awards stamp. And the challenge specifically said award stamp, but this one, we got it. The next one is a book written by an author with the same initials as you. I do not have one. My initials are E.H. and I don't have a book with those initials, so I kind of cheated and I just picked my own book because it was a book on my shelf. Those are indeed my initials, and it was the closest thing I had, so yeah. Next is a book of short stories. I have this one that my friend actually gave me, A Brilliant Void. It's a collection of classic Irish science fiction. I've only read about half of them so far, but I've really enjoyed the ones I read. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a bunch of classic Irish science fiction, and I think it's really cool. The next one was another one that was super challenging, and it's a book that is between exactly 500 and 510 pages. This one was a pain in the butt because I had to keep taking them out and flipping to the last page and all that. And I learned that I have a dozen different books that are in the like 490 range, between 490 and 500 pages. But I finally found one. It is the 10th and final book in the series, Les Chevaliers d'Emeraude by Anne Robillard. I talked about this book in my 2019 reading goals video, but it's a series that I've just had for a long time and never got around to. I haven't read this one. This is the 10th. Speaking of which, the other 9 books, 7 of them are between 485 and 500 pages, and the other 2 are like 520. Look at that. 509. Barely, but we got it. Next is a book that was turned into a movie. I picked A Beautiful Mind by Sylvia Nassar, I think. And it even says right there that it's now a movie. I love the movie. I actually watched the movie before I read the book. I originally didn't know that there was a book. It's the biography of John Nash, who is a brilliant mathematical genius who is schizophrenic. But I read this last year and I really liked it. Next is a graphic novel. I have a manga, I'm assuming that counts, but it is Kashimashi, I think it's pronounced. It's about a boy who gets accidentally killed by aliens. I think their spaceship like lands on him or something, and they feel bad for accidentally killing him, so they rebuild his broken body for him, and they accidentally turn him into a girl, and now she must try to live as a girl, and her parents always wanted a daughter anyways, and now she's stuck in a love triangle with, I think, the girl that she originally had a crush on and her best friend. But I haven't read it in 10 years, and I do remember enjoying this. I remember that it was just a fun, cute little story that I didn't understand trans-related issues. And I can't remember if the subject matter is handled in a way that would or wouldn't be offensive to trans people. I just wasn't educated enough at the time that I read this to really be able to look at it objectively for that. I guess I didn't know enough to see what was and wasn't problematic and see it through that lens, if you know what I mean. Just look into it before you pick this one up because I'm iffy about it. And finally, the last challenge is a book written by 2 or more authors. I picked The Gathering Storm. This is book 12 in the Wheel of Time series, and it was written after Robert Jordan passed away. The series was finished up by Brandon Sanderson using Robert Jordan's ideas and all the notes and extensive details that he left, so it is a collaboration by 2 authors. And that was the end of that. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button so I know, and don't forget to subscribe. I make new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, usually reading or writing related. And I also very recently started using Twitter, so feel free to follow me there. I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!